Hi and welcome to Yoga with Daisy. Good to have you for this lunchtime practice on behalf of Cambridge Biomedical Campus. So please be mindful if you're new to yoga, have any equipment that you might need, so a cushion. If you don't have any yoga blocks, then you could just use a book or maybe have a chair. I don't often use props, so you shouldn't need them. It's just preference if you prefer to. So you can do it without. But like I said, take it easy, work within your skill and understanding and your ability. So not trying to kind of yank or aggressively move the body around into positions that it might not be ready for yet. The other things that we have to bear in mind is whether we've had any injuries, whether they're old or new, or any areas of particular stiffness or tightness that you know about yourself. So just when we're kind of using those parts of the body, just practice particularly mindfully, using your breath the whole time to soothe the nervous system. So we're going to begin with some breath work and we're going to end with some breath work. So find a comfortable seated position as you sit up tall. You can place the palms either face down onto the knees or rest them on top of each other in the lap. And then as you close the eyes, start to draw air from the back of the nose down into the belly. And then back out again. So repeat this a couple of times, focusing on the sensations of the breath as it enters and exits the tip of the nostrils. And again, if you can't nasal breathe, don't worry about it, just breathe however comes naturally to you. And as the body starts to soften and settle down onto the mat, without trying to control the breath, let's just spend a minute or so witnessing our breath. So noticing maybe what parts of the body lift up or puff out as you inhale, and then what parts of the body soften down as you exhale. So just continue with this cycle of breathing as you witness what's happening as you take air in and out. And then to make it slightly more challenging, if you want to, you can try to make the sound of the ocean in your ear as you exhale. And again, if you try it and you don't really understand, just let it go and breathe normally. But to do Ujjayi breathing, you inhale through the nose, and then as you exhale, you restrict the throat a tiny bit at the back so that you create this kind of sound of this tidal breath. Again, have a go, have a play, see if it makes sense, and don't worry about it if it doesn't. So as we sit here together, breathing easily, when the body is not being asked to be challenged in a pose, see whether you can try and transfer some of your understanding of the breath when you're maybe in a more challenging pose throughout today's sequence. So what I mean by that is to really try and focus the mind on the sound of this ocean tidal breath and allow the body to be doing the poses. So you combine movement and breath work. You unify it, and that is the practice of yoga. Take a deep inhale. And this time as you exhale, gently flick open the eyes, raise up the chin. So welcome. We're going to start easy today. Good to see you. So extend out your right leg and keep your left heel to the groin if you've got this seated position. Bring your arms up alongside the ears, spread the fingers. As you lift up the fingertips, think about the sides of the body and the tummy button. As you inhale, lift up, start to rotate through the belly first, then the chest, and then the face. So you're facing the right kneecap. And then exhale, release the hands to the floor, either side of the shin. See whether you can flow the breath. So option one would be to stay here. Option two would be to press the hands into the floor. Inhale, lift up the belly. Exhale, creep the hands slightly further forward. And you repeat this a few times, inhaling, lifting up and lengthening, and then exhaling and folding. Once you get to your challenge point, so there's no way that you could creep further forward, allow the head and neck to just completely hang forward, but remember to move mindfully so you're not aggressively pulling the back of the neck. Close the eyes and then breathe into wherever you can feel a stretch for 3. Inhale for 2, learning to increase the duration of your breath. So you inhale as long as possible and enjoy exhaling as long as possible. Let's take one more full breath in and out here. And then you can gently flick open the eyes, raise up the face, and then start to creep the hands back into center. Pause once they're back in and you're upright. Take your left hand and cross it over the right kneecap. And now you've got your right hand by your back hip and your left hand by your knee. Again, if this is a bit too low and a bit too intense, put your hand on your leg. You're going to press, lift up and do a tiny twist to the right, just for a breath or so, so we're not holding it. And then bring both hands back to center. Take up your right knee, draw your soles of your feet together in Baddha Konasana, tiny butterfly of the knees, and then fold forward. Again, these are just warming up poses, so hands can be wide, hips are open, face is soft, lengthen the spine forward on the inhale, and just soften down on the exhale. One more here. Lift the face, creep the hands back into center. Same thing on the other side. Extend your left leg this time, right heel to the groin. Stabilize yourself so you're rooted through the sit bones and the heel of that left foot, and bring your arms up alongside the ears. Inhale, lift up the belly. Start to rotate the belly to the left, the chest to the left, and the face to the left. Exhale, release the hands. Pause. Remember, option one, you could stay here. So you're always trying to connect to the pose, connect to your understanding, and to challenge yourself as much or as little as you feel like today. So if you want to flow the breath again, press the fingertips, inhale, lift up, lengthen through the belly. Exhale, fold forward over the thigh. We're going to repeat this 2 more times. So the hands gently keep creeping forward as you inhale, lift up, lengthen. Exhale, fold. One more. Inhale, lengthen if you're doing this option. And exhale, fold. Release the entire head and neck. Close the eyes. Let's breathe here for 3. Focus on the sound and the sensations of the breath in the ear. Inhale for 2. And again, you want your inhales to be as long as possible, and same with the exhales. Last one, inhale. And fully exhale. Gently lift the face, open the eyes, walk the hands back into center. So left hand goes by your back left hip, right hand crosses over that left knee. Press both hands, inhale, lift, do a tiny twist, look over to the left. Try not to have too much strain and just take one breath here. And then both hands back to center as you draw up that left foot back to Baddha Konasana, feet together, butterfly those knees and fold forward again. Try not to head for the floor with your forehead. Try to lengthen your tummy button forward and then your chest and then maybe your head. Again, we're just breathing and warming up, so not taking it too intense. Feel the breath as it enters and exits the nostrils. And then lift up the face, creep the hands back into center. Use your hands to close the knees, scoot yourself around and bring yourself to all fours. We'll release out the spine and the core muscles by spreading the fingers wide. See whether you can distribute the weight through the back shin and back foot. And as you really strongly suck your tummy button back towards your spine, see whether you can feel the arms wanting to push into the mat. So you really broaden across the shoulder blades. And now for cat, we reverse by tilting the tailbone up to the ceiling. Tummy button moves away from the spine, so the pelvis hangs down slightly. Lift the chin and lengthen the chin forward for cow, sorry. Suck tummy button back towards the spine. Last one round of each. Really push the hands into the mat. Really suck the tummy button to the spine and then start to slowly tilt the tailbone really strongly up to the ceiling. Belly hangs down, chin lifts, reaches forward. And then bring yourself to a neutral spine. Take your left hand a tiny bit into center and release your right arm forward. Breathe for 3. For 2. And 1. Right hand down, press the right hand, release the left. Again, we're going to hold for 3. Spread the fingers wide. Really make sure you don't collapse into the right shoulder. So really strong through this hand on the mat. Breathe for 3. Hold for 2. One more full inhale and full exhale. Left hand down. Push yourself back to an extended child's pose. Release anything out. And we're going to do a few kind of flows from child's pose to chaturanga, back to child's pose. So as you inhale, come back up. Bring your hips forward of your knees and now keep the body still as you just bend your elbows halfway down, chaturanga. And now push back up. Gently go back to child's pose, extended arms still. And now see if you can move with your breath. So inhale, come forward, suck tummy button to spine, keep the body still. Exhale, bend the elbows to 90. And gently push yourself back to child's pose. Let's do 2 more here. Inhale, come forward. As you inhale, try and suck your tummy button to the spine. Exhale, elbows in towards the rib cage. Push yourself back. Child's pose. Last one. Inhale, come forward. Really activate the core. Try and allow the body to remain still as you just exhale and bend the elbows only. And then push yourself back up. Back to child's pose. Take a breath. Notice if any of the poses make you hold your breath and try and work on that. And this time, hinge yourself forward. Tuck up the toes. Gently come over the wrists. Press the fingertips and see if you can lift the top corners of the shoulders and reach the chin forward, not up to the ceiling. Now activate the back feet and hinge back. Press all of the toes and the fingertips and lift the hips. Down dog. In down dog, feel through your hands and your feet. So start to pedal through the feet, waking up the backs of the legs, pulsing through the shoulders. Tailbone sticks up, spine hangs down. And now bend your Left knee and look to the right for a side stretch. And then switch back to down dog. And then bend your right knee and look to the left. Enjoy just easing everything open. Now back into your down dog, I want you to see whether you can challenge yourself and hold it for 3. So press the thumb, the index finger and the middle finger into the mat, push the mat away, tailbone up, face is soft, arms are strong. See if you can hear your breath for 3. Broaden the shoulders away from the ears for 2. One more big breath in and out. And now you can look forward, bend both knees and step your feet towards your hands. Once you're there, press the feet into the mat and release the hands either side of the hips for a halfway lift. So halfway lift, you want to lift up your belly button and your chest and you want to bring them forward of the mat. Look down so the back of the neck is in line with the spine. And then to do Uttanasana, which is a standing forward fold, bend both knees, rest your belly on your thigh, hands to the floor, tip the bum up to the ceiling, see if you can look at your knees or your shin. And then close the eyes if you're comfortable. If you can, take hold of opposite elbow and you use the weight of your hands to draw the arms slightly and gently down towards the mat. Take a couple of breaths. Again, allowing the backs of the legs to open and the spine to hang down. The weight will shift a tiny bit towards the toe side of the foot. One more big breath in and out. As you release the hands from the elbows, bring them to the floor, lift up the face. And now open the eyes and allow your arms to hang heavy. As you keep looking down, gently ragdoll yourself back up. Face and chin coming up last. Raise up the arms, spread the fingers, and now lift up both heels. Whoa. So to remember to balance, you need to keep your eyes focused and still. Now spread the fingers and see if you can soften both sides of your neck. It's a very subtle move, requires attention, awareness, focus. And now see if you can hear the breath for 2. Keep spreading the fingers wide. You can add tucking your tummy button in if you want to. For 1. Gently bring the heels down towards the mat and your hands to your heart center as you step your feet together, and then release the palms forward for Tadasana. Roll the shoulders up, back and down. So now we're going to go into a flow as we are a bit more warmed up. So bring both arms up, inhale, lengthen the sides of the body as you look up. And now exhale, release hands to the floor, look down. Inhale, lift up belly and chest, halfway lift. Step or jump yourself back to a high plank. Most people will need their knees down and then lower down halfway, chaturanga. Roll the shoulders, lift up a chest, lift up a back, cobra. Tuck the toes, bum back, lift your hips to down dog. Take a big breath in and out. Keep pulsing through the shoulders, keeping everything loose. Remember, your challenge is individual. We're collectively together, but you have an individual intention as well. Right leg up. Sweep your right foot to the top of the mat. Keep your back heel lifted. Bend your back knee. Press your front heel and come up, high lunge. So you will wobble, no matter how many years you practice. Balancing creates wobbliness, especially when we're moving the head, because the balance is in your ear. From here, Pivot on your back toes and bring the heel to the mat. When the heel hits the mat, extend the arms. Warrior two. Just going to face the other way. So heel to heel or heel to back arch. Make sure the body's not leaning. Make sure this is upright through the pelvic floor muscles, to the core muscles, to the shoulders. Warrior two is quite an intense pose. So if you try and squeeze your upper inner thighs together, you should feel everything start to switch on. Take a breath here. Shoulders a tiny bit back, face is soft. Arms are reaching to opposite sides of the room. One more breath. Now straighten that front leg and glide your right hand over the right leg. Release hand to the shin, the thigh, or a block, and bring your left hand straight up to the ceiling. Trikonasana, triangle pose. So because we're online, you might want to be kind of checking your form, and you might be unsure. So drop your top hand to your left hip. Press the left hip back a tiny bit. Slide the hand to the belly. Press the belly back and slightly open, and then the same with the chest. And then release the arm back up. You might find the hand on the shin wants to go a tiny bit lower, where you've just created some space. Hold on strongly. If you're comfortable, release the weight of the head and neck. Take a breath. Option one, stay here for 3. Option 2, drop this top hand and wrap it around the back of the waist. Hold on to the top of the leggings or shorts and really focus on opening that top shoulder. Find your breath for 3. Play around having a strong inhale and then make your breath really tiny, really soft. One more if you're still there. If your arm is wrapped around the back of the waist, release it back to the ceiling. Bend that front knee. See if you can slide the hand back up as you push the heel of the foot and you transition back to warrior two. You might find it slightly wider, but don't worry, we're not holding this. So straighten that front leg, pivot on the heels and bring yourself to warrior two. The other side. Same setup. So find a distance where you can feel your upper inner thighs. Activate your pelvic floor muscles by drawing up this energy from the center of the groin to the tummy button, then tummy button back to spine, tiny roll of the shoulders, reach the arms to opposite sides of the room. So my body is really, really working hard. So I want to soften my eyes, my jaw, my face, and my breath as we breathe here for 2. Tiny squeeze of upper inner thighs if you feel like a challenge for 1. And now we're going to move into Trikonasana, the other side. So straighten that front leg as you glide the hand forward for the length. Allow the hand to come to the floor, the shin, the thigh, or a block. Top hand up. So pause, catch your breath back first, and then drop that top hand to the back hip. Open the back hip. Slide the hand to the belly, open the belly a tiny bit, open the chest a tiny bit, and then release the arm back up. Maybe you found some more space. And then option 1, breathe here for 3. Same thing, option 2, you could drop the hand behind the back of the waist, see if it can wrap around and hold on to the top of the leggings or shorts. And then you roll this top shoulder back. Releasing the weight of the head and the neck if you're comfortable. Try and hear the breath for 3. Nice full inhales and exhales for 2. Last one. If your arm is wrapped, gently release the pressure, release the arm back up to the ceiling, and then everybody bend that front knee, slide the hand back up, back to warrior 2. So I'm quite wide and I want to transition to the top of the mat. So I'm just going to soften both of my knees, maybe bring my front foot slightly back, and then see if you can kind of sweep to the top of the mat. Release the palms, Tadasana. Well done. So your legs are probably awake and fully on fire, same as your pelvis and hips. So let's keep moving. Arms up, look up, lengthen, inhale. Hands down, exhale, look down. Lift up the belly and the chest forward, lengthening the spine halfway. Step or jump yourself to high plank. Same thing, knees down, body is still, bend the elbows to 90, chaturanga. Roll the shoulders, lift the chest, lift the back, cobra. Tuck the toes, bum back, down dog. Breathe for 3. So you can move or you can be still, you can open up the sides of the body and keep enjoying that kind of instinctual movement, or you can challenge yourself to hold. Make little bits your own practice for 2. One more big breath in and out. And then bring your right leg up, inhale, sweep right foot to the top of the mat, exhale. Dome the fingertips, lengthen the spine. Hop your back foot a tiny bit in and bring the heel to the floor. And slowly bring yourself up, warrior 1. So 90 on this front knee. Really root the back heel into the mat. If you, like me, push your belly out, try and bring your belly slightly in and lengthen through the sides of the body. Fingers spread, soften both sides of your neck. Now this is a tricky pose we're about to do, so just try your best and do it with a smile, don't get frustrated. So straighten the front leg first, sweep your right hand down by your right hip, and then bring it across the back of the waist. Pause again, catch your breath. With your left hand, reach it up towards the ceiling as you inhale, and then see if you can try and reach it to the outer right front foot. So you reach first to get some length, and then the hand either comes to this is a good one to have a block, but you don't have to have a block. You can have your hand on your shin, or your hand on your thigh, or the floor, or a block. Now you pause again, you press the hand into the shin, the floor, or the block. You press it in and you see if you can bring your belly, chest and face around to the right. You could release this top arm up, or you can leave it around the back of the waist. So we are revolving our Trikonasana, extremely challenging pose. See if you can allow the body to be doing this work as you breathe for 3. Keep that spinal rotation looking really good for 2. Strong breath, challenging pose. 1 more if you're still with us. Good, now to come out, bend that front knee. First of all, release the arm back up, and then the other arm will meet back to warrior 1. Big breath in and out, soften the shoulders, soften the face. And now bring your hands to the floor. Step that front foot back, high plank. Knees down if you need to. Pause if your legs are kind of full of adrenaline and energy. And then lower down halfway, chaturanga. Drag your tummy button to the top of the mat as you lift the sternum for cobra. And then before we do the other side, briefly push back to child's pose. Take a couple of breaths, allow the shoulders to be heavy. The hands, you can clench the fists, clench the fingers, and release if you'd had a lot of pressure on your wrists. 2 more. Let everything go. 1 more big breath in and out. Lift the face, spread the fingers wide, hinge the body forward, tuck up the toes, hinge back, and bring yourself back to down dog. Feel through the hands and feet. The whole time you're getting to know yourself, your body, your breath, your abilities, the things you like, the things you don't like. Now let's try the other side, left leg up, inhale, sweep left foot to the top of the mat, exhale. Dome the fingertips, lengthen the spine, and then bring that back heel slightly in and down. See if you can push the front heel, come up. Warrior one, left side. So I've come up and my back, something feels not comfortable. So I'm going to adjust. So always feel, don't get stuck on the mat. Always feel free to be able to move, to be able to adjust, and to be able to make it make sense for you. Now, warrior one, spread the fingers, lift the chin, find a point to stare at, breathe for two. For one. And now let's do the other side. Straighten that front leg, sweep your left hand down by your left hip, and then bring it across the back of the waist. With the right hand, lift up, lengthen. Start to reach forward. So you're heading towards the outer left foot, but you're reaching first. Again, hand to floor, hand to shin or ankle, hand to thigh, whichever you find easier. Hold on, press, lift up the belly, gently rotate, belly, chest and face, this time to the left. Option one, you can keep the hand here. Option two, you can bring arm up. Try and strongly breathe here for 3. Soften the face and the eyes for 2. For 1, lift up the belly, give it a tiny extra rotation and draw this top shoulder back for 1. And now bend that front knee, release the right hand up. Left hand, if it's around the back of the waist, can bring it back up, back to your warrior one. So I don't know about you, but revolve trikonasana for me is really challenging. So my body is quite hot now. So bring your hands to the floor, step your front foot back to high plank, knees down, chaturanga, lengthen, cobra. And again, push back to child's pose, breathe for 3. Close the eyes, allow everything to be heavy for 2. One more big breath in and out for 1. And then press the hands, lift the face, open the eyes. Hinge yourself forward, tuck up the toes. Hinge yourself back, press the toes, press the fingertips, lift your hips. Suck tummy button to spine in your down dog. See how that feels. Notice that breathing is slightly restricted in down dog. Can you broaden the shoulders away from the ears and then press the mat away? One more inhale and exhale. Inhale, right leg up. Swing right foot to the top of the mat, exhale. This time, press your left hand and release your right hand forward. Open up to the right. So you're opening belly. So again, I'm going to have to adjust my left hand. So don't be afraid to pick your hand up and adjust it. So you're opening your belly, chest, face, arm up. Once you have this rotation, push that back heel. So it'll give you a tiny kind of pulsing. The legs are opening, the spine's rotating. But the more you push that back heel, the more that leg lifts and straightens. Spread the fingers of this arm, reach the arm up, and really strong with the hand on the mat as well. Let's hold for 2. Breathe for 1. And then top hand down, press both hands. Release that leg, high plank. Chaturanga, low plank. Roll the shoulders, lengthen the spine, cobra. Tuck the toes, push yourself back, down dog. Keep focusing on the sound of the breath. Allow the body to do the work. It's probably quite familiar with the instructions now if you've been attending regularly. So your main job is to hear your breath. Inhale, left leg up. Sweep left foot to the top of the mat. Exhale. Dome the fingertips. Maybe that's what I missed out last time because I needed to adjust. So now I'm going to flatten my right hand, press it into the mat and release my left hand forward as I open out belly, chest and face to the left. Again, push through that heel. Tiny kind of pulsing. Spread the fingers of the top hand, reach the arm up, strong with the hand on the mat. Let's breathe for 2. Go back to the tip of the nose or the sound of the breath in the ear. For 1. Top hand down, press both hands. See if you can release that front leg to high plank. Knees down, chaturanga to cobra. Push back, lift up to down dog. And now walk your feet towards your hands. Press the feet, release the hands. Keep looking down. Ragdoll yourself up. The back of my neck and body are starting to really warm up. Lift up the heels. Lift up the hands. Spread the fingers. Soften both sides of the neck. Take a breath. And now bring the heels to the mat, hands to your heart center, feet together, Tadasana. Shoulders roll up, back and down. Shake it off. So again, sometimes we can hold it in our wrists, so just let that go. And in the hips. Now bring both arms up, spread the fingers, soften the sides of the neck. Inhale, right knee up. See if you can cross your right ankle over your left knee, press the knee away, and now keeping arms in line with ears, see if you can push your tailbone back. Chair pose. Take a breath or so. Good. Broaden the shoulders away from each other. I just noticed my belly, so try and bring your tummy button in. This will lengthen the lower back. Broaden the shoulders, spread the fingers. Let's see if we can hold one more breath here. And then try and transition by inhaling, fingertips up, high knee. Exhale, leg down, hands down, Tadasana. Roll the shoulders. Notice maybe like me, the energy in your fingers. So it's about paying attention to the after effects of practicing. This is where the yoga lies. It's how your body is afterwards. Other side, arms up, inhale, left knee up. Spread the fingers, broaden the shoulders, be strong. Left ankle over right knee. Gently keeping arms in line with ears, tummy button in. See if you can push the tailbone back. Really spread the fingers, really fix the eyes. Breathe. One more if you can. Same thing, see if you can inhale, fingertips up, high knee. Exhale, leg down, hands down, Tadasana. Roll the shoulders and then just pause and be still. Connect back to the breath. So hopefully you're in a space that's so quiet, all you can hear is your own breath. Let's take one more. and then shake everything off. Well done. So if you need balance, maybe be near a wall or a chair or something, or just do option 1, which will be nearer to the floor with your foot. This will be challenging, so there are lots of stages. Take your time. Hands and hips feet together. Find something to keep your eyes focused. So I've said before, lots of people use my lion on my wall to kind of stare at. So this time I want you to press your left foot into the mat and bring up your right knee. So that's stage 1. Connect back to the sound of the breath. Option 2, right hand to right knee, press that thigh up and in. So you stay here if this is a struggle, and you try and do your breathing. Option 2, without looking down, take hold of the big toe with your peace fingers and draw that leg back up. So you want your top shoulders in line again. It's very challenging. Take another breath. And for those of you who really want a challenge, you can release the left hand, spread the fingers really wide, and then see what it feels like to push the heel forward. Bend that elbow to keep that leg high. Try not to wobble the way that I just did. See if you can take a breath or so. If you want to and you feel strong, you can gently come to the side. Only if you feel confident. And you can go back to center and maybe out to the side. This is extremely advanced, so please don't worry. If you're here, you could hold your knee and bring your knee out. It's non-competitive, so you're not supposed to look at another person's ability and wish that you had that, not your own. It's about learning to know that you have your whole life to practice. Knee back in, release the hand, lower down. Tadasana, shake it off. If you feel like a lot of tension, do some tiny twists. It's all about breathing. The whole time you twist or do anything else, get back in control of the breath. So again, you could do it like this. You could have a chair. You could move from one side. So if you're against the wall, if you had a wall, you could have your foot on the wall like that. And then you could gradually hop this leg around so that you feel it like that. Another option that I often forget is that you could interlace your hands behind the belly of the hamstring, press the hands, lift the chest, straighten the leg. So get creative if you can't do something. Don't just be like, oh God, I'm never going to be able to do that. Just figure out a way that you could do something where you're on one leg. Because the more you can improve your balance, the better your overall brain health and physical body health. So, I need to catch my breath back. We'll do the other side. So the reason I have to calm my breath is because it would affect my entire practice of pose if I wasn't back in focus. So now I'm going to press the right foot, lift up the left knee, breathe. Take it in stages, find something to stare at. When you're stable, left hand to left knee, bring this thigh in. Stay here if this is a challenge. Maybe play going out to the side and back. Don't move this standing leg. Maybe you want a big challenge. Without looking down, you take your peace fingers to your big toe and you draw your shoulders back up. Breathe again. And then the last challenge for those of you who want one, release the right hand, spread the fingers really wide, push the heel of the foot forward, bend the elbow. If you need a distraction straight away, you can go to the side, you can come back. Breathe high up through belly, chest, lift up the face. I'm going to hold for a couple more breaths. And when you can't hold it anymore, bend the knee, maybe release it. So again, trying to add these tiny bits where you can hold your own leg up will help. Lower down, Tadasana, roll the shoulders, and then shake it off. Whew. The last one is tree pose. So remember, you can have your big toe on the mat, but please lift it up and down. Because if you just leave it like this, so you look like you're doing something, nothing is being challenged on your balance. So if you're here, you would just tap the big toe, see if you can hold it. When you can't, it goes to the floor, lift it up again, see if you can hold it, see if you can add pelvic floor, core, shoulders, or for everyone else who wants to go higher, we'll do it together. Right knee up. Take your right hand on the inside of your right leg, hold the ankle. Take the heel of the foot, push the heel of the foot into the top of the thigh or calf. Take your left hand to your heart center, press your thumb into the center of your chest. So now I've got my heel pressing in, my thumb pressing in, my gaze is fixed. I'm going to see if I can release my left hand in prayer. Inhale, press the hands together, send them up to the sky. Exhale, open out, tree pose. Spread the fingers, soften either sides of the throat. Connect to that ocean breath. And then if you have balance, you can settle the whole foot into the leg. So you create some stability. You can test your balance by moving your arms, because remember, if your eyes are still, your body should be able to move. Maybe some of you want to do a tiny kind of tree pose aeroplane. Again, this is just to play. This isn't to do anything particularly clever. It's just to test your ability to play, to let go. And then you might find you become really stable. I don't know when I figured out that I could become stable like this. It was when I was teaching and I wanted to rest my arms one day, I think. So I brought one hand to hip, one hand to the leg, and I realized that actually it felt okay. So my whole shoulders soften, my face softens, and before you know it, I've been standing on one leg for way longer than I've been putting my arms about. To come out, be clever, hands back to heart center, lift the leg off, leg to center, leg down, Tadasana. That was really impressive to watch, well done, shake it up. Other side, remember your options. Find something you're going to stare at. Left leg up. Left hand in front of that left leg. Take hold of the ankle. Heel to top of the thigh. Really push the heel in so you've got this distraction. Right hand to heart center, thumb into the sternum. Find that stability, find the breath, and then see if you can release your left hand to prayer. Press the hands together. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, tree. So you could inhale back, exhale, open. If like me, if I get wobbly, I just use that wobbliness to try and play rather than immediately fall out. I try and kind of challenge myself to hold or to just experiment. At what point do I actually lose my balance? Or do I get so scared so quickly that I just come out at any wobbliness? Four. Good. And then again, maybe. So that, like I said, the reason I like this is my shoulders down feel soft. My legs are on, like, working. My hips are open. My eyes are focused. I'm balancing. I'm breathing. But I'm trying to combine strength with softness, yin with yang, movement and stillness. That's what we do in yoga. We try and combine the whole lot. One more breath if you're still balancing. Hands pressed together in prayer. Lift the leg off, pause. Left to center, pause. And then leg down. Release the palms. Roll the shoulders. Tadasana. Shake it off. That was really well done. Come to the top of your mat, feet wide. If you can, knees out, tailbone slightly back and down. You kind of transition to Malasana, which is a deep squat, and then just see if you can pop onto your bum. Maybe roll back if that's comfortable and roll forward, or take a bridge. Just release the legs out. They've done a lot of work in this sequence. So just keep your focus and your breath on your legs and your hips, so that when you finish after Shavasana, they are going to be slightly more released. If you want to take a shoulder stand, you can take your feet over your head, take your hands either side of the spine, and then you could lift one leg up and have one leg either still on the floor or half split. Maybe you bend both knees and then switch. Maybe you have enough space to do an arrow where one heel, so you know how we started the class with one leg extended and one heel to groin? You could do that now in shoulder stand. And then switch, extend the other leg and bring that heel to the groin. So all of the things we do in yoga, we do it whether we're standing, whether we're on our belly, whether we're on our back. And then a nice one that I've been doing is that I bring both my knees. So I bend my knees, I'm still holding either side of my spine, and then I see if I can bring my knees to my forehead. Remember, it might not be for you, so you can try and see. And then using my core, lift the knees up back to a kind of candlestick shoulder stand. And then I'm going to release my hands, palms face down, and see if I can start to unwind my spine back slowly, slowly, slowly to the mat. Once you're there, bend the knees, bring your feet to the floor, and have that moment where the body goes, oh, it's heavy on the mat. Your heart might be racing. Your neck might feel like it needs to lengthening, so allow it to lift up and lengthen. And now to end in a tiny spinal twist, bring your feet as wide as the mat. Inhale. When you exhale, allow both of the knees to gently go to the right. So remember, this twists the spine, so you should never move too fast or too aggressively. Close the eyes. Breathe love into the body and then let go. Inhale gratitude into your body and then let go. I'm taking my breath to my middle back, my lower back, my belly, my shoulders, my hips. Softening it around, following the journey of the breath as it shifts energy, as it replaces old with new. So we have this internal space, this internal softness, this place that no one can take away from you. This life force of breath. that stays with you until the very end. Slowly inhale both knees back to center. You might feel like the body wants to adjust. Allow it to do that. Learn to hear and respect the messages from the body. And then set yourself up for the other side, feet wide. Body is heavy, eyes are closed. Gently, slowly, allow both knees to go to the left. And then let go. Draw air in through the back of the nose and inhale lovingly into the body. And then exhale, let everything go. Inhale gratitude to your body, thanking it for allowing you to attend practice today, for your consistency to practice, and for the benefits of the practice. And then let everything go. Allow the face to be soft. Breathe into the middle back, the lower back, the hips, the belly, the shoulders, and the face. After your next exhale, inhale both knees back up to center. Allow the body to adjust again. And then set yourself up for Shavasana. Maybe take Shavasana with your legs extended, palms face the ceiling. Or if you feel like your hips need a rest and this is comfortable, bring your feet together in Baddha Konasana. Knees out to the side and then arms in cactus above the head. The other alternative is feet wide, knees gently touching, and your palms can be face down on the pelvic bowl. Whichever option you choose, allow the body to fidget if it needs to, and then when it's comfortable, close your eyes. Soften through the entire face. Soften the neck, the shoulders, the jaw, and the eyes. We're going to spend the next 3 minutes just focusing on our breath. So enjoy being you. And if you find your mind wanders or your eyes flicker, bring your palms face down on the belly and keep guiding your awareness back to the breath. I'll talk you around in a few minutes. Enjoy having to do nothing.
Slowly start to take some deep inhales into the side ribs and then exhale everything away. Take another full inhale and full exhale. As you slowly move your head from one side back to center and then over to the other side, repeating this a couple of times as you start to extend your fingers and wriggle the toes. When you're ready, roll to your right hand side. Keep looking down as you make your way to any seated position of your choice. And then once you're seated, sit up tall, bring your hands to your heart center and close your eyes. Tailbone subtly draws down. Have a gentle pressure between the palms. Lift each corner of your elbows and then allow your chin to just hang naturally towards your chest. Although your eyes are closed, you gaze towards your heart center and then send your breath up and down the spine. Very, very well done. That was a strong leg and balance practice, so very well done. And as usual, the recording of this class and all of my previous classes and any future classes will be uploaded onto the Cambridge Biomedical Campus YouTube channel. So if you just Google or go to YouTube and put Cambridge Biomedical Campus, all of the classes are there. I have one more class in 2 weeks' time live, and then I'm going to have a break over August and I'll be back in September. So please join me and thanks so much. It's been an absolute pleasure. Take care. Have a good week.